the classic disappearing and reappearing game, because of course drama is some people's native language, right? But relax, the manual on how to be emotionally manipulated is about to be shredded into pieces. First off, I applaud the genius of pulling away without reason. Who doesn't love a cheap psychological test that only serves to see if you'll chase after them like a lost puppy? Sure, because nothing screams "I respect you" like turning you into an emotional puppet. But let's go, because you don't need this programmed humiliation. The solution? Don't melt. Don't beg. Don't become that fragile human being that makes a woman say, "Oh, that's what I like. More submission, please." Now, those 6 magical steps to make her stop with this circus. Not sure if it's 6, because honestly, you don't even need to count. But the summary is simple. Show her you have a backbone. Don't respond to her little shows with desperation. Who disappears without reason? Let them stay gone. She'll quickly understand that you're not her toy. And if she doesn't, well, there are plenty of grown adults out there who don't play cheap games. Let's get straight to the point. Number 1, the noble art of not giving a damn. So, you want to know how to deal with this reality show actress who disappears and reappears expecting you to fall at her feet. The answer is simple. Don't give a damn. But to be clear, this doesn't just mean lightly ignoring her. It means reaching a zen-like level of indifference where her disappearance is about as relevant as the cooking time of instant noodles. It's not just pretending to be fine. It's actually being fine because the world doesn't revolve around someone else's drama. These people who love to manipulate know exactly how to pull emotional strings, hoping to see you flailing in their web. They disappear and secretly relish the thought of you desperately sending messages like, "What happened?" or "Did I do something wrong?" And guess what? Every one of those reactions only confirms to her that the game is working. It's like feeding the monster. Her anxiety turns into power. But when you simply move on with your life, like her show is a TV channel you don't even subscribe to, the effect is devastating. She expects chaos but gets calm. She expects a fool running after her, but finds someone who barely noticed her absence. It's almost an insult, and that's what really destabilizes her. Her ego, used to being inflated by your fragility, starts to crumble. After all, what happens when the manipulator loses control? They get completely lost. And when she comes back, because believe me, she will, thinking you're on your knees waiting for her triumphant return, you should be even more indifferent. No red carpet, no "where have you been?" Just a firm posture, like you've been too busy to even notice she was gone. It's the fatal blow, because it shows she never had the power she thought she did. At this point, the irony is delicious. The same person who wanted to see you begging will end up desperately trying to win your attention back, because her ego can't handle being ignored. And the more you hold this unshakable stance, the more desperate she becomes. Because in the end, the control she wanted so badly only existed in her mind. And now, the game is over, and you didn't even have to get out of your chair. Indifference, my friend. It's the quietest and most effective weapon against any cheap emotional manipulation. Number 2, she's not the last cookie in the pack. Want to know why some women think they have the right to disappear and reappear like they own your emotional calendar? Simple. Because they believe they are your only option. They think they have a free pass to manipulate since, in their heads, you're so in love and fixated on them that you wouldn't dare look at anyone else. And that's where the mistake lies. If you want to break this illusion, show her that you have options. And no, that doesn't mean rubbing it in her face that you're going out with other women or posting cheesy pictures of you at a club with a bunch of strangers. You don't need a pathetic display of, "Look how many people want me." The idea is more subtle and far more effective. You simply make it clear through your actions that you're not at the mercy of her mood swings and that your life moves on, new possibilities always on the horizon. No waiting list, doesn't matter. What counts is that she believes there is one. This little detail creates a shift in her mind. Before, with absolute certainty that she had you in the palm of her hand, she took the liberty of disappearing whenever she wanted, thinking you'd be there, available, like a puppy wagging its tail. But when you subtly let her see that other people are on your radar, she starts to feel the sting. Nothing makes a manipulator question their control like the fear that, while she's playing her games, you might be considering new candidates for the leading role in your life. The best part, you don't have to scream it from the rooftops. Subtlety is key. Add a touch of mystery. Outings with no big explanations, casual mentions of new encounters, a renewed confidence that suggests you're living well beyond her. When she realizes she's not the last cookie in the pack, panic sets in. The fear of losing control over you becomes real, and the irony is that she, who loved disappearing to see you chase after her, now races to ensure you won't slip away. Conclusion. No one likes to be a dusty trophy on someone's shelf. If she wants to play hide and seek, let her play with someone else. Because you, my friend, have already made it clear that there's a whole world of opportunities out there, and she better hurry if she doesn't want to end up on the bench. Number 3, the shocking wake-up call of, you're not worth that much anymore. Here's the cold, hard truth. If she screws up and you keep treating her like a rare gem, you're basically writing a love letter to be treated like a doormat. She'll disappear, come back, disappear again, and so on, while you, ever loyal, welcome her with open arms and fireworks. And why would she change her behavior? There's no consequence. The throne is always there, polished, waiting for her triumphant return. But the big move here is to make it clear that her value has dropped like a stock you wouldn't even buy on clearance. When she comes back, all full of herself, expecting the same warm reception as always, you need to be as cold as ice. That enthusiasm, that sweetness and care, they're gone, along with the respect she had for the relationship. Show that her absence impacted not only your patience, but the way you see her. The key is simple. Make her realize she's no longer the queen of the castle. It's not that you're playing hard just for revenge or to cause drama, but that by pulling away and playing with your emotions, she caused irreversible damage to the pedestal she was on. The woman who returns is no longer the same, and neither is the man who receives her. She can't expect the same treatment as before, as if everything is forgiven automatically. Here, forgiveness comes at a price, and the price is the value she lost in your eyes. And believe me, this realization will hit her like a truck. When she sees that the person she used to control is no longer there to be manipulated, she'll have to deal with the shock of understanding that she's lost privileges. The smile won't be as wide, the conversation won't flow as easily, and that attitude of everything's fine, honey, will no longer exist. In its place, she'll find someone who's learned to value themselves and who won't accept being treated as a second option anymore. And you know what's the best part? She will feel the difference. She'll realize her absence had consequences, and that will make her rethink her behavior. After all, if she can't return and find the same man she left, she'll have to work and hard to earn back that space. If she wants to come back, she better be prepared to face a much higher standard. If you're tired of being treated like trash, of being the idiot she steps on and then throws away whenever she pleases, then it's time to put an end to this nonsense. Read the digital book in the description of this video. After reading it, you'll learn to be cold and indifferent, to stop giving space for these dirty games, and to master the art of making her regret it bitterly. Stop being the doormat, stop being disposable, and start being the man she'll regret losing. Number 4, destroy the myth of she's the last cold Coke in the desert. Let's face reality once and for all. This woman isn't everything you've painted in your head. Stop living in this distorted fairy tale where she's perfect, irreplaceable, and the only human being capable of bringing meaning to your existence. The truth, my friend, is that you've fallen into the classic trap of idealizing someone who, in practice, is just another person full of flaws and insecurities, like everyone else. You know what the big mistake is? Putting her on a pedestal while she plays with your emotions makes you look like a fool and still walks away thinking she deserves applause for it. By idealizing her, you're basically wrapping yourself up as a gift for her to manipulate however she pleases. She knows you see her as the one, and that gives her immense, almost unbeatable power. But guess what? That power only exists in your head. It's all an illusion. The result of a romantic fantasy where you believe you'll never find someone else like her. Breaking news. Not only will you find someone else, but you'll wonder what the hell you were doing in that situation. To break this cycle, the first thing you need to do is take off those rose-colored glasses and see her for who she really is. I'm not saying to start hating her, but to be realistic. Look at her actions. See the flaws. Because they're there. You were just too busy creating this image of perfection to notice them. No one who plays with your emotions like this is perfect. And when you finally realize that, something magical happens. The power she had over you starts to crumble like a house of cards in the wind. She's no longer that imposing, untouchable figure you thought she was. Suddenly, her manipulations seem ridiculous. Her selfish attitudes become more obvious, and you start to see that, far from being irreplaceable, she's just another regular person, full of flaws. And trust me, the simple fact that you stop buying into this fantasy will shake her ego deeply. The moment you finally free yourself from this illusion and decide to move on, you flip the script. She, who once thought she had you in her grasp, will realize she's lost control, and as the cherry on top, she'll feel the desperation of trying to regain the position she thought was guaranteed. But now, you're in control, and the pedestal she loved so much has already been torn down and thrown away. In the end, realizing she's not all that is the most liberating step you can take. It's what will allow you to not only move past this phase, but also find someone who's truly worth it, without the illusions that kept you trapped for so long. Number 5. Take control of your life. Don't be a supporting role in her drama. Stop being a mere supporting character in this low-budget emotional movie that she writes, directs, and still thinks she deserves an Oscar for. Let's be direct. As long as you keep letting her dictate the pace, manipulate the scenes, and control your reactions, you're voluntarily signing up for the role of eternal sidekick. And the worst part, she's using you as a disposable piece on her board, disappearing and reappearing whenever it suits her, and you, like a good submissive audience member, applaud every dramatic act. If she disappears, you twist in agony. If she reappears, you sigh in relief, as if the balance of your world depends on her return. Here's the problem. The script of your life has ended up in the hands of someone who doesn't have the slightest respect for the main character you. As long as she's directing this soap opera, you'll never be the author of your own story. And worse, the more you adapt to her rhythm, the easier it becomes for her to throw the next episode of manipulation, knowing that you'll always be there, ready to react according to the script she's written. Now, how do you break this cycle? Simple. Take the control back. Grab the pen and start writing your own script, where you make the decisions you want for your life, without giving a damn about her whims. Want to go out and have fun? Go. Want to meet other people? Do it. If she realizes you're no longer there to follow the script she created, the dynamic shifts entirely. And here's the most liberating part. What she thinks or how she reacts to your change in attitude shouldn't matter. Because in the end, it's your life, and you don't need to live chasing after her approval. Stop acting like she's the center of the universe, and like your decisions depend on her stamp of approval. She's gone. Great, don't miss her. When she comes back, expecting the old you, the one always anxious to please and win her back, she'll find someone who no longer bows to her every whim. This shift in attitude not only puts you back in control, but also forces her to reconsider her role in your life. Suddenly, she realizes the show can't go on without you. Not because you're begging for it, but because you simply don't care anymore. And guess what? That indifference, that autonomy you reclaim, is the biggest victory you can achieve. It's not just about stopping reacting to her games, it's about taking the reins of your own story and letting her see that now the show is different. Number 6, be inaccessible and make her chase you. Manipulators love the easy road, the one where they're sure you're always available, ready to respond to any signal, whether it's a vague message or a simple hey out of nowhere. They thrive on this control, knowing that no matter what they do, you'll be there, ready to validate their moves. But if you want to flip the script once and for all, it's time to make things harder and become inaccessible. And pay attention, truly inaccessible, not just pretending to be busy while you spend hours staring at your phone, waiting for a message. Here, the secret isn't to disappear dramatically or invent games to try and provoke her. That would be childish and, let's be honest, exhausting. The point is to change your stance once and for all. Show that your time is valuable, that you have a life full of things more important than being at the mercy of someone who only shows up when it's convenient. The rule is simple. If she doesn't consistently value you, then you don't need to be available on demand. How do you do this? Stop responding to messages instantly. Don't rearrange your schedule or cancel plans just because she suddenly decided she wants your attention. She needs to realize that she no longer has unlimited access to you, and that, to get your attention, she's going to have to work for it. This creates a situation she wasn't prepared to face. The challenge. Manipulators love when everything is easy, but they become completely lost when things start to get complicated. Scarcity creates value. When you stop being a resource that's always available, you become more desirable. She'll realize that if she wants to be a priority in your life again, she'll need to change her attitude and start putting in the effort to win back your attention. And suddenly, the game shifts. You're no longer the one chasing. Now it's her who will have to work hard to secure a place in your life. The best part? Now you're the one who sets the rules. You're no longer available as a consolation prize whenever she needs a dose of validation. And from the moment you start valuing yourself, others, including her, will have to do the same. Number 7, stop being a coward and truly value yourself. Now let's get serious. We've reached the point where there's no more excusing or pretending the problem is just her and her games. Because honestly, the real culprit here is you. That's right. You, who have accepted being treated as a second-class option, as a toy she uses and tosses aside depending on her mood. It's time to face reality. What's missing here isn't a magical formula to control her, but something only you can fix. Self-respect. You're out here living on emotional crumbs, settling for the bare minimum of attention, as if that's the best life has to offer. You know what the truth is? You've lost yourself so much in this pathetic quest for her approval that you've forgotten the basics, who the hell you are. You're a man, not a puppy wagging its tail when she comes back. And the saddest part, she figured that out before you did. She knows she's got you in the palm of her hand because you put yourself there. And every time you bow your head and accept being treated as an option, you're just confirming what she already suspected. You don't respect yourself. So here's the wake-up call. Value yourself for real, or stop pretending you want to change anything. Because as long as you keep accepting this pathetic role of emotional doormat, nothing's going to change. Want to know why she keeps manipulating you? Because you let her. Want to know why she comes back whenever she wants and leaves whenever she pleases? Because you've never had the guts to set a boundary. Want to be treated as a priority? Then start acting like one. Have the courage to walk away from someone who doesn't value you. Have enough pride not to beg for scraps of affection. In the end, the problem was never her. It's been you all along. But the good news is you can change that today, right now. Lift your head, drop that embarrassing victim role, and start acting like someone who truly knows their worth. There's no magic, no secret. Either you respect yourself and demand the same from others, or you'll keep running in this ridiculous cycle of being used and discarded. Want respect? Then stop settling for trash. The truth is harsh, but it's liberating. If you don't change how you see yourself, nothing around you will change. If you keep submitting to games, to strategic disappearances, and living for the validation of someone who treats you like a second option, it's not her fault, it's yours. She's just taking advantage of what you're offering. Weakness, insecurity, and most importantly, a lack of self-respect. So, either you take some pride now and decide you're done being a doormat, or get used to the role of a supporting character in her emotional drama. The choice is yours. If you want to stay in this cycle of humiliation, great. Stay there, waiting for her next message like a puppy desperate for attention. But if you really want to turn the game around, start valuing yourself, set boundaries, and make it clear that you're the prize, not the consolation trophy. Now it's simple. Decide who you want to be. The guy who lives in someone's shadow, or the guy who takes charge of his own life and makes others respect him. The choice is yours.